The Galactic Council had made a grave miscalculation about humans. They assumed soft flesh meant soft hearts. Sophia leaned against the cold metal wall of the detention cell, her breathing shallow. Blood trickled from the corner of her mouth where the Vrakoth guard had struck her. The blue-skinned aliens had found her excavation of pre-human ruins on Kepler 442b unauthorized. What they found amusing was her pain. The little human squeals. One guard chittered in standard galactic, his mandibles clicking with laughter. His companion joined in, their three-fingered hands gesturing mockingly at her injuries. Through the transparent barrier, Rowan watched. The 17-year-old human stood motionless in the observation corridor, his face carefully blank. But his hands, pressed against the reinforced polymer, trembled. The Vrakoth were apex predators on their homeworld, 2 meters tall with exoskeletons that could deflect most small arms fire. They had conquered 12 systems before humanity had even achieved faster-than-light travel. To them, humans were curiosities, weak, pink things that broke easily. They didn't understand what they were breaking. Sophia had been Rowan's sister in all but blood. They'd grown up in the Mars colonies together, survived the terraform collapse of '87 when the atmospheric processors failed. They'd held each other through the cold nights when rescue seemed impossible. She'd taught him to read the stars. He'd promised to always protect her. The guards opened the cell barrier. One grabbed Sophia by her hair, yanking her head back. "Shall we see what other sounds you make, human?" Rowan's jaw tightened. His fingers curled into fists. The station's AI chimed softly in his neural implant. "Rowan Chen, your biometric readings indicate dangerous stress levels. Please report to medical." He ignored it. The Vrakoth had made their second mistake when they assumed the cell could hold him. Humanity hadn't survived the void by building cages they couldn't escape. Every human child learned basic engineering, basic chemistry, basic survival. The Vrakoth saw primitive desperation. They didn't see the possibilities. Rowan had been working for 6 hours. The cleaning bot's power cell rewired. The medical dispenser's acid solution collected. The magnetic seals on the ventilation shaft decoded. Their third mistake was leaving him alone. He moved through the ventilation system with practiced silence. Humans were small compared to most species. Evolution had made them weak, but it had also made them fit into spaces where predators couldn't follow. The shaft opened above the detention level. Rowan could see them now. 3 guards, all focused on Sophia. One held a neural prod, electricity crackling along its length. They were still laughing. He dropped silently behind them. The modified power cell discharged with enough voltage to overload 2 of their neural clusters instantly. They collapsed, their exoskeletons locking up as their nervous systems short-circuited. The third guard spun, reaching for his weapon. He was fast. Rowan was faster. The knife, fashioned from a sharpened piece of the cell's metal frame, slid between the chitin plates with surgical precision. Humans studied anatomy, every species in the galaxy. They learned where the vital organs hid. The guard staggered back, mandibles working soundlessly. His weapon clattered to the floor. Rowan walked forward, his face still blank. But his eyes burned with something the Vrakoth had never seen before. "Not in prey. You heard her," Rowan said quietly. His voice was steady, almost gentle. "You thought it was funny." The guard's translator clicked frantically, trying to process the tone. It couldn't reconcile the calm words with the predatory advance. "You laughed." Rowan dragged the knife along the floor, the sound grinding through the silence. "When she cried, when she bled, you laughed." Sophia pulled herself upright, leaning against the wall. Her eyes were wide, but not with fear, with recognition. The guard backed away, his confidence evaporating. He'd never been prey before, didn't know how to be prey. "Tell me something," Rowan continued, still advancing. The knife scraped. "Still funny with your tongue gone?" The Vrakoth finally understood. This wasn't a cub. This was something worse. Something they'd encountered only in their oldest nightmares. The stories told to young Vrakoth about the darkness before their ancestors crawled from it. This was vengeance. "Please," the guard chittered, the standard galactic word breaking apart in his panic. "Please." Rowan tilted his head. "She said that too. Did you listen?" The station's AI alerted security. By the time they arrived, they found 2 guards unconscious. 1 guard traumatized beyond speech and 2 humans sitting calmly in the corridor. Sophia had her head on Rowan's shoulder. He'd wrapped his jacket around her wounds. The evidence was damning. Clear footage of the guards' abuse, the unprovoked attacks, the mockery. The council investigated. The Verkoth Empire issued formal apologies. Reparations were paid, but the damage was done. Word spread through the galaxy. Humans were weak, yes, soft, breakable, but they were also something else. Something the strong species had forgotten in their dominance. They were survivors, and survivors didn't forget, didn't forgive. They waited. They planned. They learned every weakness, every vulnerability, and when you hurt one of them, when you laughed at their pain, they stopped being the prey. They became the thing that came through the walls in the dark. The thing that knew exactly where to cut. The thing that asked quiet questions while dragging knives across the floor. The council added a new directive to first contact protocols. Do not harm humans. Do not mock their suffering. They may be weak, but they are not prey. Never prey. Because the galaxy finally understood. Humanity didn't dominate through strength. They dominated through something far more terrifying. The absolute refusal to stay broken, and the cold patience to make breaking them more costly than any victory could justify. Sophia squeezed Rowan's hand as they boarded the transport home. Neither spoke. They didn't need to. Some promises once made could never be broken. Not by pain, not by fear, not by death itself. That's what it meant to be human.